Art Focus is a program about the brightest and the most current developments in the fields of art and cultural life in the country and in the world. It is a report about the greatest cultural events like musical concerts, festivals, art exhibitions and theater premieres. You will be able to visit the most interesting theater sets as well as workshops of famous artists, and you will also get acquainted with the best art representatives and learn the secrets of their crafts together with the Art Focus program. Art Focus is always in the focus of the brightest events. Unique exhibition of collected dolls from Europe has recently opened its doors in Almaty. The exhibition is for children and adults and all art lovers, collectors and wide audience with an aim of showing wonderful and mysterious world of dolls with art discoveries, revelations and views and ideas. The first exhibition was in Astana. Next we go in Aktau and Atrau, and by the end of the year we plan to show it in Hong Kong. The exhibition features 173 items from 40 authors. Each doll is from some collection, which means it is made in one copy and it is completely handmade. It can take several years to do one doll. Each button on clothes of a doll is handmade. Our exhibition aims at aesthetic and harmonious human development, as well as representing absoluteness of beauty in these wonderful dolls to our visitors. In Kazakhstan, dolls are not very popular, but anyway, they have so much power, beauty and harmony that we probably lack. Many people want to dive into the world of pleasure and joy through visual aesthetic perception, and that is why we choose dolls. We know dolls from our childhood. We grow, develop and understand the world with them. So I would like to try to turn our world into a fairy tale and give our children a proper understanding of beauty and help them to believe in miracles. Beauty will save the world. This is our motto. I really like dolls, but I do not have a big collection of my own. However, I have a few dolls. I prefer porcelain dolls because they have vivid human faces, expressive eyes and interesting poses. Most of all, I'm impressed with eyes. Everything is very beautiful and aesthetic. All of these influence human nature. I think people should visit exhibitions, especially like this one. Dolls bring us back to childhood. I'm sure that you must see this exhibition. I think this is good for our country, because we all live with a purpose to pass our way of life to our children, who are our heritage. A child must learn to dream, believe in miracles, learn to think in a creative way, do some handmade and wish to make the world better. First museums appeared more than 2000 years ago. Just like in our times, they were used to collect, study, store and exhibit monuments of natural history, material and spiritual culture as well, do educational and promotional activities. Today we will talk about House Museum of great Kazakh poet and writer, public figure and academician Sabit Mukanov. In memory of father of Kazakh literature Sabit Mukanov, in 1976 the government of Kazakhstan decided to open a museum in the house where he lived and worked from 1965 to 1973. In 1978 the museum opened its doors for the first visitors. One of the founders of the museum was writer's wife Maria Mukanova. For about a quarter of a century, our museum has been rendering cultural, scientific and educational services to the population as one of the leading cultural institutions of the Republic. In 2000, on the eve of Sabit Mukanov's 100th anniversary, which was celebrated under the auspice of UNESCO, the museum exposition was enriched with new valuable exhibits. The museum consists of two parts, literary and memorial. Exposition of the literary part of the museum is in 3 halls, exhibiting valuable documents, photographs and manuscripts. The first hall of the literary part of the museum represents biography of the writer. Here you can also see his photographs and belongings that describe his life. The second hall represents creative laboratory of the writer. Here are his works written in various genres, from poetry to prose. At the early stages of his work, Sabit Mukanov mainly wrote poetry. He wrote 8,000 poems, 20 narrative poems and 10 novels. Sulushash takes a special place among his works. It is the author's first work to be translated into French. The memorial part is in 3 halls, which are parlor, office and bedroom. All exhibits and belongings and large library, everything is kept the same way as it has been during the writer's lifetime. Each exhibit has its own story. The museum offers more than 8,000 exhibits, 4,000 of which are the writer's books. These are classic works of Russian literature, foreign literature and various encyclopedias. You can see the writer's bookmarks in almost every book. Stationery and records in Sabit Mukanov's office are on the same places as they have been during his life. There are a lot of books and various gifts in his office. In this room, the writer worked on his latest work entitled The Meteor Flashing By, which tells about Shokan Balikhanov's life. His secretary, Mayra Jantsayeva, assisted him in his work for 25 years. In the bedroom, we have the writer's clothes, hats and belongings. In that room, he had a rest after his work. He spent his last days in that very apartment, and 3 years after his death, his wife decided to organize the museum. As contemporary of the 20th century, writer Sabit Mukanov left a rich creative heritage. Working in all genres of literature, he made a huge contribution to spiritual development of Kazakh people. More than 1 generation was brought up on his works. I believe that this museum should be visited by every resident of our city, because Sabit Mukanov is a great poet and his work is the wealth of our country. We must never forget our history and our ancestors. We must always share this knowledge with future generations. Comedy is considered to be one of the most difficult genres. To make audience laugh and amuse, one must have not only a sense of humor, but also extraordinary skill of dramatic transformation to get close to nature of comic character. High level of professionalism and dedication can help to bring laugh of many generations. Today we are going to talk to famous actor Marat Kokozov, who is willing to reveal some secrets of his profession. I grew up in a big family, and I was the youngest among 12 children. My parents were very musical people, especially my mother. She always sang, and our family singing took its rise from my mother's singing. As a child, I needed to choose either sport or art. Art prevailed. I played in ensemble at the House of Pioneers. At school I was the most active student. We had different creative events there. I also sang in ensembles, performed in restaurants. In the army, I played in the brass band and participated in patriotic song contests. And after the army, I entered the Republican Pop and Circus Studio, as it was called at that time. I chose faculty of puppet theater actor. At first, puppet theater was not clear to me, but when I began to delve into the profession, it became interesting to me, because I realized that the most important thing was that puppet theater actor should first dive into the character himself and then translate it through puppet using his hand. After that, I worked for a long time in Mangostal region, where we had opened a puppet theater. And after that, I graduated from Zhurgenev Theater Institute with a specialization of theater and film actor. Gaining life experience and working in Aktau, I met director Lukman Yesenov. There was famous Tamasha TV show. Everybody knew it. It was really popular TV show. I worked for a very long time with that director and learned a lot from him. At the day of Tamasha broadcast, everyone did their preparations. They made beshparmak, laid the table, set up antennas to get a better sound and video. And when the TV show began, streets in the cities and auls were dead, because all the people watched Tamasha. I like to perform on stage. I adore the moment when the audience applauds and I take a bow. Nothing can compare to it. Of course, you will not get it right away, but if you try really hard, you will gradually turn into a good actor. I'm a happy man. I think the words "born under a lucky star" suits me well, because I have my family, wife, children and grandchildren. I live in a beautiful country. I work on film set and in theater. I am a very happy man.